Good morning, students. Today we will discuss the subsequent topic, that is binary subtraction using two's complement method and use of different types of codes. The main objective of this lecture is to perform binary subtraction using two's complement method and use of different types of codes. So we will just within short time uh, we will just revise the whatever the things we have learned from the previous lecture. We have represented the binary numbers in different forms: sign magnitude form, one's complement representation and two's complement representation. In the case of sign magnitude, uh, we can represent the positive value with MSB as 0 and represent negative value with MSB as 1, and you can see the example of representing plus 5 and minus 5 using 6-bit sign magnitude representation. It is like this. So 5 means 00101 is magnitude, and last MSB bit 0 represents positive number. So this represents plus 5, and this one represents minus 5. So last MSB bit 1 means that becomes negative number. So this is the procedure of representing the binary number in sign magnitude. Next we will see complementary notation. Conversion between positive and negative numbers are easy by using complementary notation. For binary base 2, if you are taking a positive number, and if you are taking a positive number and doing 2's complement to that, you will be getting a negative number, and again to that negative number, if you are doing 2's complement, what will happen? Again you will be getting the positive number. So converting from positive to negative using complementary notation is very easy. That's why all the microprocessor or microcontroller based systems uses this 2's complement representation of binary numbers. Example you can take, again plus 5 and minus 5 I am considering plus 5 6-bit sign magnitude representation, that is 000101, and to that if you are doing 2's complement, what will happen? It will become minus 5. So minus 5 after 2's complement. So again if you are doing 2's complement to that minus 5 number, you will be getting plus 5. So these are the things we have seen in the previous lecture. Now we will continue the today's lecture with binary subtraction using 2's complement method. So while doing the subtraction, you can have two different terms. First one is minuend and second one is subtrahend. So you need to subtract the subtrahend from the minuend. So a minus b will give you the difference between the two binary numbers. So this is the basic definition of subtraction, a minus b. So instead of doing a minus b, I can also do the operation like this, which is nothing but a plus of minus b. So a minus b will give you a plus of minus b. So first what I will do, I will calculate this minus b with the help of 2's complement number, with the help of 2's complement conversion. That is the only difference. So after converting this subtrahend, which is nothing but b, its 2's complement, and after converting its 2's complement, I am adding that result to a, so that overall you are doing a minus b with different procedure with the help of 2's complement method. Okay, so this a minus b is nothing but a plus 2's complement of b, that we are going to adopt in binary subtraction using 2's complement method. So since you are using here 2's complement of b, that's why this method is called 2's complement method of subtraction of binary numbers. Now we will take in this you are having two cases. You are having a minus b. A is called minuend and b is called subtrahend. Case 1 I am considering it as subtrahend is smaller than minuend. So a is bigger and b is smaller. So b is smaller than a. In that case, what is the procedure you need to adopt for doing binary subtraction? So first you need to find the 2's complement of a subtrahend. After that, add the 2's complement of the subtrahend to the minuend. Up to here same procedure of a minus b, which is equal to a plus 2's complement of b. And after that addition of 2's complement of subtrahend with minuend, what will happen? If some carry is generated, you need to neglect that carry. After addition of 2's complement of subtrahend with minuend, if output carry is generated, that carry has to be neglected for this case 1. Okay, we'll see the example of subtracting 0110 from 1101 by using 2's complement method. So here I need to subtract 0110 from 1101. That means minuend becomes 1101 and subtrahend becomes 0110. So minuend will be 1101 and subtrahend will be 0110. And here case 1 I am considering, that means minuend is greater than subtrahend or subtrahend is less than minuend. So first, what is the first step you need to follow? You need to first find out the 2's complement of subtrahend. You need to find out the 2's complement of subtrahend. So subtrahend is 0110, and how to find out its 2's complement? First you need to find out its 1's complement, that is 1001, replacing ones with zeros and zeros with ones, and then adding to that 1's complement. So it will be 1010 is the 2's complement of subtrahend. So 1010 will be the 2's complement of subtrahend, and you need to add this 2's complement of subtrahend 1010 to this 1101. So first, next step is you need to add this 1010 to minuend. Okay, so adding minuend with 2's complement of subtrahend will give you the result as what? 1 plus 0 1, 1 plus 0 will be 1, 0 plus 1 will be 1, 1 plus 0 will be 1, and 1 plus 1 will be some 0, and carry is generated here. So you need to neglect that carry. So overall the result will be 0 1 1 1. The difference is 0 1 1 1. So this is case 1 of subtracting the two binary numbers by using 2's complement method. Here you can also verify whether you have got the correct result or not with the help of again decimal numbers. If you consider what is the decimal equivalent of this 1101, it is 8 plus 4 plus 1, which is nothing but 13. Okay, and what is the decimal equivalent of 0110, which is nothing but 6. So if you are subtracting 13 from 6, what you will be getting? You will be getting 7. Okay, so overall final result what you got is 0111, which is nothing but the binary equivalent of decimal 7. So that whatever the procedure you have adopted is correct. I am checking it with decimal numbers. Okay, next we will consider the next case, that is subtrahend is larger than minuend. What is the procedure you need to adopt for the second case, that is subtrahend is larger than minuend? That means you are subtracting a larger number from a smaller number. What will happen if you are subtracting the larger number from smaller number? The resultant will become negative number. The resultant will become negative number. So in that case, what is the procedure you need to consider? So again same procedure, find the 2's complement of subtrahend and add the 2's complement of subtrahend to the minuend, and after that the result is a negative number and in 2's complement form. So result will be definitely a negative number, and that is in 2's complement form. So no carry will be generated, and to get the difference, take the 2's complement on and put minus sign. So after adding the complement of subtrahend with the minuend, you will be getting some number, and that is the negative number, and you need to do the 2's complement of that. After doing 2's complement of the result, again putting negative sign will give you the overall difference of the given problem. So this is the procedure you need to adopt for the second case. In the second case, subtrahend is considered to be larger than minuend. We will discuss this procedure with some example. I am considering the example subtract 1101 from 1000. Now here the minuend happens to be 1000 and subtrahend happens to be 1101. Subtrahend is larger than minuend. So here the subtrahend is 1101, minuend is 1000. So first step is we need to find out the 2's complement of subtrahend, that is 1101, that is 0010 plus 1, which is nothing but 0011. So 0011 is the 2's complement of subtrahend, that is 1101. After that you need to add this 2's complement of subtrahend to minuend. After addition, what you will be getting? You will be getting 2's complement of subtrahend is 0011, minuend is 1000. After getting addition, you will be getting the result as 1011. So no carry is generated, and the result is a negative number, and it is in 2's complement form. For that, in order to get the difference of this result, what you need to get? You need to first do the 2's complement of the result after addition. If you are finding out the 2's after 2's answer is 2's complement of 1011, so doing 2's complement of 1011 will give you what? 0100 0100 plus 1, which is nothing but 0101, and you need to append minus sign. You need to append minus sign. So this is the result. This is the result of subtract 1101 from subtract 1101 from 1000. Okay, you can also check whether the procedure, whatever the procedure you are adopting, is whether it is correct or not, again by considering its decimal equivalent. So 1000 means will be 8. This is minuend 10008, and 1101 is the subtrahend, which is nothing but 13. If you are doing subtraction operation between these two, what you will be getting? You will be getting minus 5. So which is nothing but the minus 0101 is the decimal binary equivalent of minus 5. So whatever the procedure you have adopted, is correct, and I have also verified it with decimal numbers. Okay, so this is the procedure of converting not converting doing subtraction between two binary numbers using 2's complement method. Again, in that 2's complement method, you are having two cases. First case we have discussed is subtrahend is smaller than minuend, and the second case is subtrahend is bigger than minuend. In the first case, what you are doing? You are doing first step is 2's complement of the subtrahend, and then adding the 2's complement of subtrahend to the minuend, and if carry is generated, neglect that carry. The resultant will be the difference between the subtrahend and minuend. And in the second case, that is subtrahend is larger than minuend, what you are doing? Again, the first step is doing the 2's complement of subtrahend, adding that 2's complement of subtrahend to the minuend. Whatever the result you got is the 2's complement of the result. Again, if you are doing 2's complement, you will be getting the original result with negative sign. So these are the two procedures for case 1 and case 2, and doing for subtraction of two binary numbers using 2's complement representation. Next we will move on to the other topic, that is use of different types of digital codes. In all digital computers and systems are based on binary operation only. So binary numbers are useful in analyzing or designing any digital circuits. So always all the digital circuits are operated on only binary values, that is zeros and ones. A digital system requires less circuitry because it is easier to construct or design a digital circuits. Because when compared with analog circuits, digital circuits mainly deals with only two types of signals: logic low signal and logic high signal. There are only two different levels, two different voltage levels in the case of digital circuits. So it is easier to construct the digital circuits compared to analog circuits. So in order to read and print out the octal numbers, we will be using digital codes. In addition to this, hexadecimal numbers are also used in extensively in microprocessor or microcontroller based systems, and some other codes are there apart from weighted codes, which we have discussed in the
earlier lecture, that is decimal number system, binary, octal and hexadecimal. All those codes which we have discussed in the earlier lectures are happens to be weighted codes, and the uh, some other codes that are non-weighted codes are happens to be XS3 codes. Non-weighted codes are happens to be XS3 codes are used with BCD numbers, and XS3 codes are used to simplify BCD addition. BCD code is used in calculators which deal directly with decimal numbers. Gray code is used in encoders. In addition to these weighted and unweighted codes, we also have some other codes called as alphanumeric codes. Alphanumeric codes, in that you will be having ASCII code, which is used by manufacturers to standardize computer hardware. So ASCII codes are mainly used to define the binary code for different digits 0 to 9 and alphabets A to Z and special characters which are used in the uh, data entry of computers. ASCII code is used for sending digital data over telephone lines, and there is some other code, some other alphanumeric code which is called as EBCD IC, which is used by the IBM computers. So these are all the things we have seen in the present lecture. We will see this quiz. What is the complement of 1001? Which is complement is nothing but replacing ones with zeros and zeros with ones. That means 0110, option A. And the advantage of 2's complement subtraction is, what are the advantage? Subtraction can be done using adder circuit, option A. Next we will see some you can all these problems you can note it down and do it as homework practice purpose. 2's complement subtraction, and you can also consider these problems for having some more practice. And next next we will see something about different types of digital codes. Main objective of this is to know the weighted codes, unweighted codes, comparison of weighted and unweighted codes. We have seen weighted codes examples are decimal number system, binary, octal, hexadecimal, 8421 codes and all those things. And unweighted codes, there are some examples like XS3 code and gray code. We need to compare the weighted and unweighted codes, and conversion of 8421 XS3 and gray code to binary and vice versa. All those things we'll be discussing in this topic, and also something about alphanumeric codes, and even one more important small concept which is called as parity bit. In the earlier class we have seen the number systems, okay, and 2's complement, 1's complement and all those things we have seen. Next we will see binary codes. Since digital systems mainly operate in a binary system, we need to study different types of binary codes. Coding is the process of converting numerals, alphabets, special characters into binary format. So coding is the process of converting numerals like numericals like decimal numbers 0 to 9 and alphabets A to Z and special characters like at the rate, hash and ampersand, okay, all those things into binary format. So each and every character, whether it is numeral or alphabet or special character, can be converted into binary format, and that process you are calling it as coding. So combination of binary digits is called as digital codes. So combination of binary digits is called as digital codes. Next we will see something about weighted codes. Digital codes are classified as weighted codes, and in these weighted codes each position of the bit represents a specific weight. in these weighted codes, each position of the bit represents a specific weight. For example, you can have an example of 8421 or BCD code or octal or hexadecimal or even decimal and binary. All these codes are happens to be weighted codes. Examples for weighted codes. Next, coming to the unweighted codes. Each position of the bit is not assigned any specific weight. Each position of the bit is not assigned any specific weight. Unlike weighted codes, here the position of the bit is not weighted any specific weight. Okay, examples for unweighted codes are XS3 and gray code. So we will compare the weighted and unweighted codes. In the case of weighted, each position of the bit represents a specific weight, whereas in the case of unweighted codes, each position of the bit is not assigned any specific weight. Examples for weighted code is 8421 or octal or hexadecimal codes, and examples for unweighted codes is XS3 and gray code. And one more point in weighted code, it is useful in digital circuits like digital calculators and voltmeters, and unweighted codes are useful in digital computers, shift position encoders and all these things. Next, coming to the BCD code, which is nothing but weighted code. In this code, decimal digits 0 to 9 are represented by binary equivalents. BCD stands for binary coded decimal. BCD stands for binary coded decimal. So in this binary coded decimal code, in this code, the decimal digits 0 to 9 are represented by its binary equivalent. So in order to represent 0 to 9 numbers, decimal digits, we need minimum of 4 bits. For example, 23 is represented as 0010, 0011. That means 3 is represented with 0011 and 2 is represented with 0010. That means each decimal digit is represented with its 4-bit binary equivalent. Each decimal digit is represented by its 4-bit binary equivalent. This BCD code is also known as 8421 code, where 8, 4, 2 and 1 are the weights of the 4 bits of the binary code. So 8, 4, 2, 1. These are nothing but 2 to the power of 3, 2 square, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 0. So all these are nothing but the respective weights of 4 bits of the binary code. So hence it is called weighted code. BCD code is a weighted code. So these are the BCD codes corresponding to the BCD digits. So 0 to 9 are represented with the help of its 4-bit binary equivalent. So 0 is represented with 0000, next 0001, 0010, 0011, 0100, 0101, 0110, 0111, 1000 and 1001. So these are the 4-bit binary equivalents for a corresponding BCD digits 0 to 9. Next, we will consider the conversion of binary code to 8421 code. So given a binary number, we need to convert that binary number into its equivalent 8421 code. So for that, I will be considering the example 11000 1100 is the binary code. To this, you need to convert it into 8421 code. For that, what you need to have so the decimal equivalent for this binary number is 396. First you need to find out its decimal equivalent. So how to convert this binary to decimal? First, again multiplying it with respect to weights. It will be 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 square, 2 cube, 2 to the power of 4, 5, 6 is 0, 2 to the power of 7 and 2 to the power of 8. So multiplying it with respective 2 to the power of weights, you will be getting its corresponding decimal number. So after getting the decimal number, you can simply replace each decimal digit with its equivalent 4-bit BCD. Okay, so for
For 3, what will be its decimal equivalent? It will be what will be it BCD equivalent? 0011. And for 9, it will be 1001, and for 6, it will be 0110. So for a given binary number, the BCD code, equivalent BCD code will be this much: 0011, 1001 and 0110. So this is the BCD code corresponding to the given binary number. So for conversion of binary code to 8421 code, first what you need to do, you need to convert this binary code to its equivalent decimal number. You need to convert this binary code to its equivalent decimal number. After converting its decimal it into decimal number, replacing each decimal digit with its equivalent 4-bit binary equivalent, you will be getting its corresponding 8421 or BCD code. So this is the procedure adopted for converting a binary code into 8421 code. So this is the overall result. Next, its opposite conversion, that is conversion of 8421 code to binary code. So given a 8421 code, we need to convert it into binary code. For that I am taking an example of 0010 0111 is the 8421 code, and again the same procedure. First you need to write this 8421 code into its equivalent decimal number. So 0010 means 2, and 0111 means 7. So its equivalent decimal number is 7. So to this 27 decimal number, do the division of divide this 27 continuously with by 2 until you will be getting the quotient as 0 and remainder as 1, so that you will be getting its corresponding binary number. Okay, so 27 base 10 is equivalent to 11011 is binary code. So this you have got by dividing this decimal number 27 repeatedly with 2 until you will be getting the quotient as 0 and remainder as 1. We will see how. It will be 27 dividing it continuously with respect to 2, so it will be 1 and 3, remainder will be 1. Right. So 27 I am considering, dividing it with 2, so that you will be getting 13, remainder will be 1, quotient is 13, and again dividing it with 2, 2 6 are 12, and remainder will be 1, quotient is 6, 2 3 are 6, remainder is 0, and 2 1s are 2, remainder is 1. So the answer will be 11011. So the answer will be 11011. So its corresponding binary number will be 11011. So for a given 8421 code, you can have a binary code like this. Again the same procedure, 8421 code is to be converted into first decimal number, and decimal number is converted into binary number. Next we will see something about XS3 code. 8421 code, which we have discussed till now, is a weighted code, whereas this XS3 code, which we will be discussing it now, is the unweighted code. We will see what is this XS3 code. It is a 4-bit code again. In XS3 form, 3 is added to each decimal digit. In XS3 code, 3 is added to each decimal digit. So then convert the sum to a BCD number. So BCD can be converted to binary as in the previous example. So BCD can be converted into binary, which we have seen till now, and convert the sum to a BCD number. So that becomes the XS3 code. So in order to convert a binary number to XS3 code, first we need to take its corresponding decimal number. So first I am considering the example as 1100, for which its decimal equivalent is how much? 10. So to this for 1100, what is its decimal equivalent? It is 12. So 12 is the decimal equivalent of 1100. So this is the binary number he has given. We need to convert this binary number to equivalent XS3 code. So for that, what we are adopting first you are taking that binary number and you are converting that binary number to decimal number. After converting the decimal number, what you need to do? You need to do adding 3 to each decimal digit. How many decimal digits are there here? here you are having two decimal digits. One is 1 and the other one is 2. So to each decimal digit you need to add 3. So that becomes what? It becomes 1 plus 3, which is nothing but 4, and 2 plus 3, which is nothing but 5. So by adding 3 to each decimal digit, it becomes 4 and 5. Okay, after addition of 3 to each decimal digit, again you will be getting the result as 45, and to that 45 is equivalent to 0100 and 010101 as binary. Okay, so 45 is equivalent to 0100 and 0101 as binary, and this itself is the result of binary number 1100. So converting binary number 1100 to XS3 will give you like this. So 1100 base 2 is equal to 1210, 12 base 10, which is equal to 0100 0101 in the XS3 code. So this is how you can convert the given binary number to XS3 code. Next, coming to the gray code, which is also gray code is also an unweighted code. So in this code, the concept involved in this code is the two adjacent numbers differ in only 1 bit. The two adjacent numbers differ in only 1 bit. Hence it is called as unit distance code. The gray code is also called as unit distance code because any two adjacent numbers, if you are considering, it will be differ only by 1 bit. It differ in only by 1 bit. That's why this gray code is also called as unit distance code. It has same bit length and MSB as binary number. So in order to have the binary to gray code conversion, so given a binary number, you should be in a position to convert that into gray code. What is the procedure that we are going to learn now? So first I am considering the binary number 1001. I am considering the binary number as 1001, and you need to convert this binary 1001 into its equivalent gray code. For that, what is the procedure? First, whatever the MSB bit is there in binary number, that bit will be same appended. Okay, add the MSB to the next lower significant bit of binary number and note down the sum and ignore the carry. So whatever the MSB bit is there, that I am simply writing as it is in gray code as well. And for next bit, what you are doing, add the MSB to the next lower significant bit. That means in order to get this next subsequent gray code bit, what you need to add? You need to add this 1 plus 0. Add the MSB to the next lower significant bit. That means 1 plus 0. 1 plus 0 will be equal to 1. So this 1 came due to the addition of these two bits, 1 plus 0. And for getting the next bit, what you need to do? You need to add next two bits, that is 0 plus 0. 0 plus 0. After the addition of 0 plus 0, the result will be this third bit. And the last bit you will be getting by addition of the last two bits, that is 0 plus 1. So by adding 0 plus 1, whatever the sum you are getting, that you are reflecting here. So for 1001 binary code, its corresponding gray code will be what? 1101. What is the procedure you are adopting? Again the same. For 1001, replace the MSB same as it is. Replace the most significant bit as it is, and for getting the other bits, you are adding the subsequent bits. Adding MSB with the next subsequent lower significant bit, that means 1 plus 0, resultant will be 1, that you are appending here. And for next bit, you are adding next bits 0 plus 0, that you are adding here, that you are placing here 0. And for 0 plus 1, after addition, the sum will be 1, that you are adding here. So this is the procedure of converting a given binary number into gray code. Continue the same process, still all the binary digits are added. So 1101 is the gray code of 1001 binary number. I'll repeat once again. So given binary number 1001, replace write the MSB of gray code equal to the MSB of binary number, that is this 1 and 1 are same. In order to get the next bit, what you are doing? You are doing addition of MSB with next lower significant bit, that is 1 plus 0. So 1 plus 0's result will be what? 1. Again, in order to get the next subsequent bit of gray code, what you are doing, you are doing addition of next lower significant bits, that is 0 plus 0. So 0 plus 0 will give you a sum of 0, and that will be 0. And for getting the last gray code bit, what you are adding? You are adding the LSB and next subsequent higher bit, that is 0 plus 1. So if you are adding 0 plus 1, what you will be getting? Resultant as sum as 1. So 1101 is the corresponding gray code for a given binary number 1001. So this is the procedure of converting a given binary number into its equivalent gray code. Now the opposite conversion, that is, given a gray code number, how to convert the given gray code number into its binary. We'll see the procedure. Again, writing the same MSB bit as it is. Gray code number is, I am considering the gray code number as 1110. MSB bit I am writing it as it is in the case of binary number. In order to get the next bit in the binary number, what you need to do? You need to add 1, the MSB bit of binary, and next least significant bit of gray code, that means 1 plus 1. So 1 plus 1 will give you sum of 0, and here you will be getting 0, and 0 plus 1 will give you sum as 1, and 1 plus 0 will give you sum as 1. So it will be 1 0 1 1 you will be getting. Add the MSB of the binary to the next LSB of gray code. Note down the sum, ignore the carry. So that what you will be getting? Here you will be getting 1 as it is you are writing, and 1 plus 1 you are adding. 1 plus 1 addition will give you sum of 0 and neglect the carry, and 0 plus 1 will give you sum of 1, and 1 plus 0 will give you sum of 1. So this is the binary number corresponding to the given gray code number. Okay, so in the earlier case we have converted the given binary number into gray code. Now we are converting given gray code number into binary code. So for converting a given gray code into binary, what you are adopting? You are adopting the somewhat different procedure compared to the earlier procedure. Here in gray code, MSB is replaced same as in binary, and the MSB of binary is added with next LSB of gray code, and the sum is reflected here. Again the same procedure is adopted, and this 0 will be added to the next LSB, and sum will be replaced here, and this will be added with the next least LSB, and the sum will be added here. Okay, so this is the procedure of converting the given gray code into binary code. So 1011 is the binary number corresponding to the 1110 gray code number. Next we will see something about alphanumeric codes. Alphanumeric codes are used to represent decimal digits like 0 to 9, and alphabets, both uppercase as well as lowercase, A to Z and A to Z, and special characters like @ percentile, ampersand, etc. And also commands that are used by computers to represent carriage returns, line feeds, etc. Enter, backspace, and all those things will be having some specific binary code, and that code you are calling it as alphanumeric codes. So alphanumeric codes are used to represent the decimal digits 0 to 9, alphabets A to Z, both uppercase as well as lowercase, and special characters like hash, ampersand, percentile, @ etc., and also commands that are used by computers to represent carriage returns, line feeds, etc. Space, enter, backspace, control, all those things will be having specific alphanumeric code. So there are two different types of alphanumeric codes. First one is ASCII. The abbreviation of ASCII is American Standard Code for Information Interchange. The abbreviation of ASCII is American Standard Code for Information Abbreviation of ASCII is American Standard Code for Information Interchange, and another type of alphanumeric code, that is EBCDIC, which is Extended Binary Coded Decimal Interchange Code.
So EBCDIC is the abbreviation of EBCDIC is extended binary code decimal interchange code. So these are the two different types of alphanumeric codes, but nowadays at present we will be mainly using this the first alphanumeric code, that is ASCII code, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So most of the computers uses nowadays is this ASCII alphanumeric code. Coming to the ASCII, its structure is a 7-bit code. So any character, that is whether it is decimal number 0 to 9 or alphabet A to Z, uppercase and lowercase, and special characters and computer operations, all those things will be having a fixed structure of a 7-bit code. So each and every character in ASCII, each and every special character or alphabet or number will be having specific ASCII code. That ASCII code happens to be a 7-bit binary code. ASCII code happens to be a 7-bit binary code, plus a parity bit is there for each and every ASCII code. So the MSB is used for parity and remaining 7 bits are used for coding. So overall ASCII code consists of 8. In that, MSB is fixed for parity and the remaining 7 bits of ASCII code represents for used for coding. And ASCII can represent 128 symbols. Since the magnitude represents 7-bit code, so 2 to the power of 7, it can represent a total of 2 to the power of 7, which is equal to 128 different symbols or different characters. So in those 128, you will be having 0 to 9, that is 10, A to Z, uppercase and lowercase, that means 26 plus 26, 52 plus 10, 62, and some special characters and all those things will be coming in those 128 different combinations. So this code is used by most of the computers in the world. Next, coming to the EBCDIC. So this is also a 8-bit code. This is used by some IBM computers. Mainly EBCDIC is developed by IBM computers. It represents 2 to the power of 8 symbols, that is 256 different symbols. Next, coming to the parity bit. So digital information in binary form is transmitted from one system to another system. So during transmission, there may be a chances of occurring of errors. That means whatever you are transmitting, that means if you are transmitting 1 as binary information, what the information result may be 0, because due to the during the transmission there are some errors that may occur during transmission of digital data from one system to another system. So errors may occur, that is 0 may change to 1 or vice versa. Errors can be detected by adding one additional bit known as parity bit. So during transmission there are chances of occurring errors, and these errors can be detected by adding one additional bit, which you are calling it as parity bit. So in order to detect whether any errors have occurred or not during transmission of digital data from one system to another system, you need to add one more additional bit, which is known as parity bit. So it allows the detection, parity bit allows the detection of a single error in during transmission of digital data from one system to another system. So parity means number of ones in a digital data, may be even or odd. So parity always refers to counting of number of ones in a given digital data. So number of ones can be either even or odd. So there are two different types of parity, that is even parity, odd parity, based on number of ones present in a digital data. So ASCII code is a 7-bit code, and for example ASCII code for capital C is 1000011. So it is a, since ASCII code is a 7-bit code, you can represent capital C with its ASCII code as 1 4 zeros 2 ones. Okay, so there are 3 ones in this. So in the ASCII code of C, like capital C letter, you are having 3 ones. So this 3 happens to be odd. This 3 happens to be odd. So next, if you are adding extra bit as MSB, add extra bit as MSB, the total number of ones is odd and extra bit the total number of ones is odd and extra bit added is 0, called as odd parity. Okay, so if you are adding the MSB as 0, what will happen? Again, it has only 3 number of ones. So to this ASCII code, if you are adding MSB as 0, that means uh, even after adding 0, it has only 3 number of ones. That means it becomes odd parity because there are odd number of ones. But that means 0 is called odd parity for this case. So adding extra bit as MSB, the total number of ones is odd and extra bit added is 0, called as odd parity. So if 0 is added as MSB, then total number of ones is odd and that is called odd parity. If 1 is added, then what will happen? If 1 is added, then what will happen? The total number of ones becomes even, then that is called even parity. So the total number of ones is even if extra bit added is 1. Extra bit where you are adding it as MSB. So the total number of ones is even if extra bit added is 1, which is called as even parity. So based on what bit you are adding, whether it is 0 or 1, it decides the even parity or odd parity. Example, ASCII code for C is 14011. Odd parity is 0. That means odd parity when you will be getting add odd parity when 0 is added and the total number of ones is happens to be odd. And even parity, if 1 is added, then total number of ones happens to be even. So total summary, we have discussed about weighted and unweighted codes, differences between weighted and unweighted codes, conversion of 8421 codes to binary and binary to 8421, alphanumeric codes, and use of parity bit. All these things we have seen. Next, coming to the quiz, the code used for 9 in BCD is 1001. Example of unweighted code is XS3 code. Example of weighted code is BCD code. These are some of the frequently asked questions. You can note it down on your own for practice. Thank you for listening.